Imagine coming home from the hospital with your newborn, completely exhausted, only to find your dinner magically waiting at your doorstep, still steaming, with a fragrant aroma filling the air. That's the heartwarming reality for many new parents in the United States, thanks to a beloved tradition known as meal trains. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Behind this simple custom lies a whole community effort. And not everyone agrees on how and when it should be done. So what exactly is a meal train? Picture a chain of friends, neighbors, or colleagues, each taking turns delivering home-cooked meals to a household in need. Often after the arrival of a baby, but also during illness or difficult times. It's a gesture that turns individual acts of kindness into a steady stream of support, relieving new parents from the daily worry of what's for dinner when they have so much else on their plates. Take, for example, Leah and Jim, who had just moved to Malden, a small town about 200 kilometers north of New York City. With their families far away and friends not yet close by, they weren't sure who would be there to help them after their daughter was born. But to their delight, a neighbor named Rachel offered to organize a meal train. On their very first night home from the maternity ward, a bag filled with a savory lentil and sausage stew awaited them at their front porch. The next evening, Chinese noodles, delivered promptly. The day after, Moroccan chicken made an appearance. For 2 months, hot, delicious meals arrived first daily, then every other day, gradually tapering off as Leah and Jim regained their strength and routine. It made all the difference, Leah recalls, remembering how the food and the caring behind it helped them through the challenging first weeks of parenthood. Further north in Vermont, Barbara Sicot, a teacher, has contributed to over 10 different meal trains. She shows her phone's calendar, color-coded with meal drop-off dates and special instructions. What time to come by, usually between 5 and 6 p.m. How many servings to include? 1 extra if a relative is visiting. And dietary preferences or restrictions. She often bakes her signature macaroni casserole and, along with it, leaves a cheerful note. Heat the sauce on the stove and pop the casserole in the oven for 10 minutes. To respect the new family's privacy and prevent interruption, she simply sets the meal on the porch and sends a quick text to let them know it has arrived. But, and this is the part most people miss, the meal train isn't just about handing over dinner. It's a powerful statement that says, you're not alone. For many, especially those isolated from relatives or friends, this communal giving feels downright revolutionary. And yet, some wonder, should meal trains rely solely on local neighbors, or is it fair to expect friends from farther away to participate? Is this system sustainable, or does it risk burning out the most generous among us? What's your take on the matter? Have you ever given or received a meal through a meal train? Do you believe this tradition strengthens communities, or could it place unintended pressure on people who may not have the time or resources? Share your thoughts below. Let's stir up a conversation about how far we should go to support each other during life's most tender and testing moments.